They made us cheer. They made us cry. And sometimes, they reminded us that unity could be the real victory. Remember the Titans wasn't just a movie. It was a movement. From fog-drenched dawn practices to game day glory, it gave us unforgettable characters, iconic moments, and a soundtrack that still gets us fired up. But where are the Titans now? In this video, we're taking you on a journey, then and now, through the lives of the stars who brought the 1971 T.C. Williams High School football team to life. From red carpets to rehab, fitness transformations to family legacies. This is what became of the cast of Remember the Titans. You think you remember them? Wait until you see them now. Denzel Washington as Coach Herman Boone. Born December 28, 1954 in Mount Vernon, New York, Denzel Washington had already conquered Hollywood when he stepped onto the Titans sideline. 2 Oscars, Best Supporting Actor for Glory and Best Actor nominations for Malcolm X and The Hurricane, proved his pedigree, but Boone let him channel searing charisma and paternal steel in the same breath. He studied hours of taped interviews, shadowed the real Herman Boone for a week, and even borrowed Boone's favorite stopwatch for takes. The result? A coach who felt as dangerous as a drill sergeant, yet warm enough to trust with your future.
You smiling? Why are you smiling?
Football's fun.
You think football is fun?
Yes, no.
No?
Certain,
After the film, Denzel collected a 3rd Oscar for Training Day, directed and starred in Fences, and anchored the high-octane Equalizer trilogy, which now totals more than $1 billion worldwide. Off-camera, he and wife Pauletta funnel royalties into 150 Boys and Girls Club scholarships every year and quietly pick up tuition bills for select Fordham Theater students. In 2025, he confirmed he will be starring in Black Panther 3, joking that retirement is for people who don't like verbs. Today, at 70, the silver-templed icon still trains like an athlete and remains the gold standard for sports movie mentors. Think Boone was intense. His sideline partner kept things grounded with grit and grace. Will Patton as Coach Bill Yost. Soft-spoken, steel-spined, and loyal to a fault, Bill Yost gave Remember the Titans its moral ballast, and Will Patton's performance landed with surgical precision. Born June 14, 1954 in Charleston, South Carolina, Patton cut his teeth on the New York stage, then crafted memorable supporting turns in Armageddon and The Postman. For Yost, he poured over 30 hours of Church League practice tapes, mastering the coach's clipped cadence and understated humor. Patton insisted on wearing the real Yost's watch during shooting, so every sideline gesture felt authentic. Post-Titans, he carved out a lane as Hollywood's go-to voice of calm authority. He narrated more than 70 audiobooks. Stephen King calls him my favorite sonic storyteller, and currently plays mysterious rancher Wayne Tillerson on Amazon's mind-bending neo-western Outer Range. When he isn't filming, Patton organizes a 4th of July charity flag football tournament in Charleston, raising GED program funds for recently released inmates.
But before God, I swear I'll see every last one of you thrown in jail.
You dig your own grave.
Now 71, he still runs 5 miles before sunrise, credits quiet meditation for his gravelly focus, and delights fans by whisper-growling Yost's famous line, "You blitz all night," at conventions.
Another yard.
You blitz all night!
In a sea of motivational movie speeches, Patton's restraint proved that silence, delivered well, can thunder louder than any shout. From the coaches to the players, some of the most powerful lessons came from the locker room leaders. Wood Harris as Julius Strongside Campbell. Born October 17, 1969 in Chicago, Wood Harris stood 6'3" and packed charisma when Hollywood came calling. But Remember the Titans launched him into cultural folklore with one handshake. Harris set camp on a Virginia high school field, bulking up and rehearsing footwork, so Julius's fierce stance felt earned. He and co-star Ryan Hurst improvised the legendary left side, strong side exchange during callbacks, convincing director Boaz Yakin to write it in permanently. After Remember the Titans, Harris shed the pads for a kingpin's swagger as Avon Barksdale on HBO's The Wire, a performance now taught in criminology and acting classes alike. Despite the spotlight, Harris remains rooted in Chicago's South Side.
Best defense I've seen in 20 years. Tell that coach of yours to keep up the good work.
Oh yeah, I'll do that.
Where he funds the Footwork Lab, teaching dance and discipline to at-risk teens. At 56, his athletic frame sticks thanks to Muay Thai sessions and vegan mornings. His trademark booming laugh still shakes microphones. Ask him for a pep talk and he'll grin. Strong side? That's mindset, baby. Fans echo back every time. Ryan Hurst as Jerry Berthier. 6'5" Ryan Hurst, born June 19, 1976 in Santa Monica, approached Jerry Berthier's role with reverence. He shaved his arms and legs to replicate the real Berthier's post-accident hospital look, then drove hours with Julius's real-life counterpart to absorb memories. That authenticity radiated through the film's emotional core. After Remember the Titans, Hurst traded the Letterman jacket for a biker cut, becoming Opie Winston, the soul of Sons of Anarchy. Fans still rank Opie's self-sacrifice among television's most heartbreaking exits. He later intimidated audiences as Beta, the towering mask-wearing second-in-command on The Walking Dead, and voiced a thunderous Thor in PlayStation's God of War. Ragnarok. Behind the scenes, years of stunt work wrecked his lower back, pushing him toward holistic healing.
Shut up, y'all. This ain't happened to the mountain gorilla. We all gotta use
Gary, you say it or I'm not hanging up the phone.
I love you, sugar.
He still sports the signature beard, hosts weekly Dungeons & Dragons streams for charity, and closes every class with Jerry-inspired words. Embrace the brother beside you. Differences make the line unbreakable. Donald Faison as Petey Jones. Harlem native Donald Faison, born June 22, 1974, already charmed millennials and clueless when he juked onto the Titans' backfield as speedster Petey Jones. To nail the role, Faison practiced two-a-day sprint drills and even fumbled real footballs on purpose until his on-screen drops looked natural. Petey's benching and redemption mirrored every athlete's nightmare, and Faison's mix of swagger and vulnerability resonated across gyms and lunchrooms. Post-Titans, Faison scrubs up as Dr. Turk on NBC's cult medical sitcom, Scrubs, showing off dance chops in the viral Poison routine that TikTok still resurrects annually.
Not anymore, though, is it? Is it?
No, not by
No, it's not fun anymore, not even a little bit.
Zero fun, sir.
All right.
In 2020, he and best friend Zach Braff launched Fake Doctors, Real Friends, a recap/life advice podcast that's topped 120 million downloads and recently scored a Spotify video deal. Beyond the mic, Faison voices TIE Pilot No. 1 in Star Wars Resistance and cameo bombs conventions with impromptu dance-offs. Father of 6, he calls parenthood zone defense with no halftime. At 51, he's still juking, still joking, still reminding us the comeback is always sweeter than the cut. Think Faison brought the fun? Our next Titan brought the muscle and a transformation that stunned Hollywood. Ethan Suplee as Louis Lastic. In 2000, Ethan Suplee weighed more than 500 pounds, but his big-hearted performance as Motown-loving guard, Louis Lastic, stole scenes with ease. Born May 25, 1976, in Manhattan, Suplee was raised in a showbiz family. He had already logged memorable turns in Mallrats and American History X. Remember the Titans showed his warmth. Life After Titans showcased his willpower. By 2011, he embarked on a strict nutrition overhaul, ditching sugar, weighing every gram of protein, and devouring weightlifting literature. A decade later, he unveiled an 8-pack on Instagram and a 405-pound bench press, sparking viral disbelief.
I just gave your mama a piggyback ride and she weighs twice as much as I.
He created the podcast American Glutton to document that journey, hosting doctors, strongmen, and everyday strugglers. Acting never stopped. He acted in The Wolf of Wall Street, Babylon, and Chance. At 49, he still logs every calorie, deadlifts 500 pounds, and signs Louis Motown across sweaty gym towels. Transformation? He bench-pressed the mountain and kept climbing. From powerhouse to pint-sized, our next Titan left a huge impression without ever stepping on the field. Hayden Panettiere as Cheryl Yost. Born August 21, 1989 in Palisades, New York, Hayden Panettiere first voiced a Princess Dot in A Bug's Life, before stealing Remember the Titans as 9-year-old Cheryl Yost. Part cheerleader, part pint-size offensive coordinator. She drilled real playbooks nightly, and the film crew learned quickly. Misquote a formation, and she'd correct you mid-take. Stardom accelerated. NBC's Heroes turned her into pop culture's indestructible cheerleader, while ABC's Nashville showcased unexpected vocal chops, 21 charting songs, and 2 Golden Globe nominations. Behind the scenes, however, postpartum depression after daughter Kaya's 2014 birth spiraled into alcohol and opioid misuse, worsened by a turbulent relationship spotlighted by tabloids. 2 rehab stints later, Panettiere resurfaced in 2023's Scream 6, reclaiming fan-favorite status as Kirby Reed. She launched Hoplon International, a non-profit funding maternal mental health therapy and shipping neonatal supplies to war-torn Ukraine, where Kaya lives with father Vladimir Klitschko. Now 36 and sober, Panettiere splits time between Los Angeles sets and Kyiv clinics, stating on E! News, "Cheryl taught us not to quit before the 4th quarter. I'm living overtime." Fans cheer for her as loudly now as they once did for touchdown calls. From football superfan to future quarterback, our next Titan was born to lead. Kip Pardue as Ronnie Sunshine Bass. Born on September 23, 1975 in Atlanta, Kip Pardue embodied West Coast swagger as left-handed quarterback Ronnie Sunshine Bass. He brought sun-bleached hair and a grin that melted defensive lines. To master Bass's unique throw, Pardue trained with UVA quarterbacks, relearning footwork until his spiral velocity pleased real coaches on set. Before Remember the Titans, he modeled for Abercrombie and acted alongside Sylvester Stallone in Driven. He also starred in teen drama Whatever It Takes and had guest roles on ER and Mad Men. Momentum stalled in 2019 when SAG-AFTRA fined him for on-set misconduct. Pardue publicly apologized, completed harassment training, and quietly moved to Vancouver, focusing on sobriety and behind-camera work.
Yet either, but they needed me. Your team needs you tonight. You're the colonel. You're going to command your troops tonight. You understand? Twins right, 48-0 read. Let's go.
He's now a sought-after second-unit assistant director for Hallmark's Christmas slate, citing the steady schedule as healing structure. At 49, Pardue remains tan-lined, humbled, and still capable of that perfect southpaw rainbow pass. Proof second chances can arc just as beautifully. Next up, a rising star whose breakout moment in Titans sparked a Hollywood takeover. Kate Bosworth as Emma Hoyt. Born January 2, 1983 in Los Angeles, Kate Bosworth had only one prior credit when she booked Emma Hoyt, Jerry Bertier's supportive girlfriend who bridged bleachers and racial divides. Director Boaz Yakin needed authenticity. Bosworth worked nights in a Virginia diner to absorb small-town cadence and wore a 1970s cheer uniform for weeks, fraying it for natural wear. Post-Titans, Blue Crush cemented her as Gen Z's wave-riding icon, leading to Lois Lane duties in Superman Returns. She has also starred in Still Alice and 21. Off-screen, she co-founded Kindest. Bosworth married actor-podcaster Justin Long in 2023. She's also an ambassador for the Surfrider Foundation, lobbying Capitol Hill for clean water legislation. At 42, Bosworth says nostalgia fans still shout, "Strong side." She replies with Emma's classic eye roll and a grateful wave. Nicole Ari Parker as Carol Boone. Baltimore native Nicole Ari Parker, born October 7, 1970, portrayed Carol Boone, Herman's steadfast wife, whose measured grace counterbalanced sideline chaos. Parker met the real Carol to capture her cadence, even adopting her habit of folding hands at the sternum during tense moments. Already notable from indie hit Boogie Nights, Parker leveraged Remember the Titans to headline Showtime's Soul Food, earning 5 NAACP Image nominations. She later dazzled as attorney Giselle Barker on Empire, and now commands HBO Max fashion circles as Lisa Todd Wexley on And Just Like That. Beyond acting, Parker and husband Boris Kodjoe launched ALFA, an inclusive leisure line emphasizing adaptive fits. 2025 revenue hit $42 million. Off-screen advocacy includes lobbying Capitol Hill for maternal mortality reduction and funding Ghanaian birthing centers. Next stop, Broadway's A Raisin in the Sun revival, where she'll tackle Beneatha as an adult, exploring generational dreams realized. At 54, Parker credits daily Peloton rides and gratitude journals for her glow, telling fans, "Faith is fitness for the soul." Movie Carol kept Boone's family solid. Real Nicole uplifts families worldwide. Gregory Allen Williams as Coach Paul Doc Hines. Gregory Allen Williams, born in Des Moines, Iowa on June 12, 1956, portrayed Coach Paul Doc Hines, the Titans athletic trainer who balanced medical know-how with moral compass. Williams shadowed paramedics and taped ankles for real T.C. Williams athletes to ground every sideline cutaway. Before Remember the Titans, he spent several seasons on Baywatch as Officer Garner Ellerby. Afterwards, he diversified into dramatic heft with roles in The West Wing and Chicago Med. Real-life heroism eclipsed fiction in 1992 when Williams rescued an individual who had been pulled out of his car and was being beaten during the Los Angeles race riots.
Checking them in. I'm Coach Hines, your offensive line coach. Yell out your name and position.
He became the first recipient of the Salem Award for Human Rights and Social Justice, and inspiring his memoir, A Gathering of Heroes. Williams now tours first responder conferences, campaigning mental health support for firefighters, and serves on Georgia's Film and Television Advisory Council. He mentors at-risk teens through his nonprofit Actors, Hearts and Hammers, teaching carpentry and monologue skills. At 69, he jokes that Doc's tape and ice routine still saves his knees before each speaking gig, reminding crowds, every team needs someone to patch the brakes and preach hope. And finally, our last Titan brought the biggest surprise, going from comedic sidekick to global movie star. Ryan Gosling as Alan Bosley. Ryan Thomas Gosling, born November 12, 1980 in London, Ontario, and raised in Cornwall, was the fresh-faced 19-year-old who turned cornerback Alan Bosley into the team's comic relief and secret weapon. Gosling drilled footwork with real T.C. Williams players, then begged the costume crew for that famously ill-fitting number 81 jersey because Bosley would definitely wear hand-me-downs. On set, he'd strum a guitar between takes, serenading castmates with early drafts of songs that later surfaced in his indie band, Dead Man's Bones. Life After Remember the Titans launched a rocket. Sundance darling The Believer, tear-jerking phenomenon The Notebook, Oscar-nominated turns in Half Nelson and La La Land, and a billion-dollar cultural powerhouse with 2023's Barbie. Off-camera, he volunteered in Biloxi, Mississippi, for the cleanup efforts after Hurricane Katrina. Ryan also visited Uganda in 2007 and Eastern Congo in 2010 for his work with the Enough Project. Now 44, Gosling balances blockbuster sets with dad duty to 2 daughters he shares with partner Eva Mendes. When nostalgic fans shout, "Alan, you're killing me," he just flashes Bosley's grin and answers, "Coach says I've got it under control. Promise." Some Titans became Hollywood legends. Others found new paths entirely. But all of them were part of something bigger. Something that reminded us that unity, heart, and belief can win any game. So who surprised you the most? Who's your favorite Titan then and now? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more deep dives into the movies that made us. Until next time, left side, strong side.